Okay, first let's go to Slack. So this is the recording. These are the recording. This was the first day, and this is the second one we had on Wednesday. Okay, I think there's a phone you get me to play, probably play later. So this is the assignment I gave. But first, do you understand HTML?
Yes.
I do understand HTML.
This one is not showing me. Not showing me.
Probably it's your screen because Bolo and Miss Jessica can see my screen. Do you understand the HTML, the heading tag, the paragraph tag, the anchor tag, image tag, input? Do you understand it? So it's just the CSS, right? So last class I put us through the methods. We have 3 ways you can attach CSS to your HTML, and one of it was what? Sorry, one of it was the inline. So the inline is so the inline CSS, the inline cascading style sheet, is the styling you put within the tag, within the first tag. If it's an opening and closing tag, you put it at the first tag. Okay, and you use the attribute called style. So style is equals to, then open your quote, be it a single or a double quote, open your quote, then put your style in there, the properties and the value. You want the background color, background, then a colon, then the color name, then you end it with a semicolon for that particular styling. Okay, so we move into the internal way of styling your HTML or using your CSS. So the internal method is you having to use the style tag. Okay, so you can open the style tag wherever on your code in the body tag. Okay, and try to put it inside. It's compulsorily has to be in the body tag, but you can put it below or above, whichever one, but it should be inside the style tag. Okay, so when I said this other tag, this tag I'm like putting it through on is because when you get to see it online, you understand, okay, this is what they did. But in this class, you have to use external. So external is the last one, the third one. So why is it external? Because you have to create an external CSS file. Just like you have your index.html, you have to have probably a style, any name, but .css, okay, file. So that's what makes it external. So because it is another file, okay, so let's say it's called style.css. Because it's another file, it's standing on its own, and whatever styling you put there will not reflect on HTML. So you need to link it to your HTML using the tag, link tag, which has to be put inside your head tag, not in your body tag, alright? So how do you use, so there's a tag for that, that's the link tag. Open your link tag, then use your rel. So inside that link tag you also have to add the attribute rel, ler is equals to, in quote, style sheet. Then another attribute called the href. So the href is going to hold the name of the external file. So that's how you connect your external CSS to your HTML. Alright, so and also we looked at the CSS selectors, which are very important, okay? Because if you are doing your normal styling, your basic styling, and probably you come across tags, maybe you repeated tag, you have so many heading tags or paragraph tags. How do you want to differentiate them? How do you want to style them differently? That's when your CSS selectors come in. And we have 2 major ones. That's the class and the IDs. So this class and the IDs help you to style properly and also help you in group styling. Alright. So if you are going to be using your class, so how do you use this your CSS selectors? You first have to give your HTML tag either one of it, either a class or an ID. If you have a tag you want to style, you go to that tag in your HTML file, then put the name there, either class is equals to, then any name in quotes, single or double quotes. Okay, so probably you want to style an image tag. You've already created your image tag, that's the open bracket img. So you are going to put a space, then class is equals to, probably start that image. Class is equals to, then any name, but it has to be in double quote. And I said if you are joining two, if you have two names, maybe your class name is called first name. So you don't put space in between first and name. Make sure they are together, or you can connect them with a connector. Either is an hyphen or an underscore. Alright, or you can use the casing. Look at that. Alright, so if you want to style your image using the external CSS, you have to give it so you are giving it a class. So class is equals to, in quotes, single or double quotes, first name. So that image tag is taking a class name called first name. So how do you now style that class on your CSS? You have to use your dot. So your full stop, that's the dot, then the name of the class you gave it, that's first name. So dot first name. Then you open your curly braces, then you put your styling. That's how you style a class. Alright? Are we here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And if you want to style your ID, so this is different from your class. You want to style an ID, you do the same thing, but if you want to style it, you have to use the hashtag. Okay, then hashtag, then the ID name, then other things follow. Open your curly braces and do stuff and stuff like that. So why this is also useful is when you have group styling. For example, maybe you have so many maybe you have a section that is having the same styling. You can use a class name, attach it on those tags, then pick one of it. Still the same class name though. Style the class name and it's going to affect the three. Maybe you have a div. For example, this box is here that we use on our screen. You can see the div inside. The three boxes inside, they are the same thing, the same color, the same border radius, that's the curve side, the same padding, that's the space inside, the margin, space outside. Okay. So for those boxes, you know that they are in the same, they are in div because they are containers, alright. So for that three box, I'm going to put this three box inside different divs and give them the same class name so that when I style one, it's going to affect the remaining two. So that's how useful class can be. But when ID come into place, maybe you have a unique styling. They have the same styling generally, but one is unique. Then you have to introduce your ID. But interchangeably, you can use ID and class, whichever one works for you. But you know when to use class and know when to use ID. It shows that you know what you are doing, like a professional way. Okay. But if you want to style your HTML normally, you just stick to class. Okay, so let's go on. So looking at this picture, I already explained it that this I say this screenshot. There's a parent, it's inside a container, right? It's inside a container. Look at your page, any page online, they are all inside a container. And most time you can also use your body tag to serve as a container, but it's preferably not to touch that body tag. Okay, so it creates your own div tag, that's the container tag. So there's a container tag that is holding this screenshot. All right, inside this div tag, so I'm going to call it a div tag. So a div tag, all right, that is holding this. Inside the div tag, we have three tags. One tag for this header. The other tag is this. Why am I classifying them? Because this one is like a whole. Okay, you can see the background color. That means these three tags inside are inside one. And the last one here. So that's why I'm saying there are three tags inside this main container tag. Alright? Are we here? So that's that's like two step now. Then you now start breaking them down. Start dealing with them one after the other. Don't so you not get confused. Start with the first one. Inside this div tag here, there is a title called Grammar Secret Pie, Apple Pie. I mean, so you use any tag of the heading. We use the first tag H1. So H1. I remember your H1, your heading tag usually come with a default margin and padding. So I already taught you guys how to inspect. So obviously or automatically that your div tag will obviously have some extra space. You are supposed to remove the margin and padding which you'll be looking at. So it has a title. So that my first div has a title. I'll put H1 into brackets, everything grammar secret apple pie. Then the div, you can see the background of this container. It has a background color. I'm going to give the div a class name. I'll call it probably header. So it's a class name, right? I'll call it header. Then I'll go to my CSS to style. I'm going to use my dot because it's a class name. I'm going to start with full stop dot header. Then open my curly braces. Then start styling. The first thing I'm going to do is to give it a background color. So background color, probably I'll give it a green. You know your heading tag is black in color by default. So you have to change the color to white. So we only have one H1 here. You can just leave it at okay. That's for the next line. You are done with the first one. I'll still come back to the first one, the header class. Okay. But the H1 has a color white. Then I'll style my H1 separately. H1, open my brackets, curly braces I mean, then put color white there. Okay. So for you to show that you know what you are doing professional way, you can call um the class name of the div. You know the H1 inside a div already. Because you might have other headings. This is for future purpose. You might have other headings in this maybe your project. And if you just call only H1, it will affect all the H1 in your code. Alright. So it's prefer you call the class name of that div. Okay. So if I want to do it my way, I'm going to do dot header space H1. So that H1 is specifying that is H1 I'm styling right now, but is inside that header container. So any style I'm going to do is going to stick to that header class name H1. It won't affect the other H1s in my code. So I'll give it a color of white. But if you notice the text is at the center. Alright? The text is at the center. I'm going to use what we used that time. Text align center. So the text align is to move text. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah?
That text align move the entire page or just one text.
You go and style it in your dot header class on your CSS. So it's going to only affect the H1 inside. Okay. If you want to move all your entire code to the center, you're going to style it on the body because all my code is inside the body. You get.
Very fine.
Uh, but it's fine. So let's the you can repeat the same thing for the footer. So the footer is already in it. They give it a class name. I'll call it footer. All right. Then inside the container, it has a paragraph there. So you do the same thing. Purpose style the container dot footer. Open your curly braces. Background color green. Text align center. Then I want to style the paragraph tag there. Okay. Open my go to the next line. Go to the step another one because it's different now. It's different styling. So the next one, I'm going to do a P, but you know we have so many P tags there. So the best way is to call the name of that container holding that P. That's dot footer space P, showing that this P now style is only for this paragraph inside this footer container. Alright, so open your curly braces, then put your color white. You know it has space at the top. You can also add your padding top only. You can see the space at the top, padding top only. And I'm sure it's going to come with its own margin. So you have to remove the margin, just like I didn't talk about on the other. You have to remove the margin. You can do a margin 0 pixels. You remove all the margin so you don't have extra space there. So that's for header and footer. Now the second div, okay. The second div, if you look at it, because they're all inside a container, you can see the background color holding it. So that second div, I will create another separate 3 divs. I'll create 3 divs inside it. Div 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the first div inside it just have a paragraph. The second one has the title and another list. The third one has a title and other list. Okay. So these 3 boxes here, I'm going to give them the same class name. Remember, they are all inside a div. You understand? That parent div holding the 3 boxes, I'm going to give the class name too because it has a background color. So it will be easy for me to style the background color. So the parent tag holding the 3 divs, I'm going to give the background color, probably give the class name. Let's call it main. Okay. Then go to my CSS, style it. I'll give the background color of maybe cream. Okay. And you can see the spacing inside. Spacing inside is what? Powers. Padding, right? So and you can see the padding at the top and bottom is lesser than the one on the left and right. So I'll do my padding for 2 sides, the one that has 2 values. So the first one, I can do 10 pixels for top and bottom, and I can do like 30 pixels for right and left. That's for the space inside. So now let's focus on the boxes inside, those 3 boxes. I will give them the same class name so that when I start one, I won't have to repeat myself. That is the second one. I'm telling you guys, like, this is like the professional way. It makes your work easy. Okay, and thank God you are getting exposed to it at like now. So I'll give them the same class name. Let's call them boxes. So box 1 has, like I said, has paragraph. The other one has whatever it has. So go to my CSS, because the class name, I'll do my dots boxes open brackets. They all have the same background color, right? I give them background color maybe gray. It affects the old 3 because the same class name is attached on their divs. Okay, then you can see the sides are curved. I'll give them border radius maybe 10 pixels. Okay, and I'll give them padding. You can see the space inside. The text inside are not closer to the box. They are not like at the end there. Okay, you can see the space inside. So I'll give it padding maybe 15 pixels, and I also give it margin. How am I giving the margin? You can see space in between. Okay, they are not jam packed together. So I'll do margin too, maybe a little. I'll say like 5 pixels. Okay, so we are already done with that. The heading tag that are there, I'll call it, maybe I'll give it H2. Then I'll do boxes, dot boxes, then space H2. Then I'll give it color pink. And that's all. People have questions before we code it. Questions? Okay, so let's start. So this is where I'm going to put my where I have all my projects. So this code 5. Open my folder. Let's create a new folder. So let's call this um, grammar grammar recipe site. Okay, so let's open it on our code. Right click, open with code. So you can see that it's only that my folder that is open here. I don't have all my folders open here. It's just the grammar recipe site that is open here. You should take note of that. Alright. So I'll create a new file. I'll call it index. So index.html. Enter. So let's write the structure together, which is very important. I know you guys already know the shortcuts, but it's very important for you to know how to do it so that when you do the shortcut by mistake, maybe you mistakenly delete something, you know how to arrange it back. So that's why I'm like intentional about you knowing the structure before I teach you the shortcuts. So open your brackets, exclamation, then I'll do my doc type. Oh, I didn't press. The doc type. What is the doc type? Document type HTML. I close it. Move to the next line. HTML. Close it. It's still loading. It's going to give me the closing. Let's wait for it. Let's do that again. So close it. Still loading. Why it's doing that? I'll just write it myself. HTML. Close it. Then I'll come to the middle here, push it down. So HTML has two children tag. The first one is the what? The first one is the what? Are you put here? The first one is the head tag. You might have issues with it because you are just starting. Let's wait for it. Still loading. Okay, yeah. So inside this, we have two children tag, the head tag, yeah, and the body tag. Body tag. So yeah, you're good to go. Are you there? So inside the head tag, we have the child tag or the title tag. Now call it grammar. Okay. So let me run this on my browser. And you can try to put it or not. It's still on. So let's start. So I'll start with this container that is holding this my uh, project. I don't want to use this body tag. So let's put it the div tag. Alright. Inside the div tag we have three divs. One, two, three. The first one has the title called Grammar Secret Amplify. So let's use H1. Grammar. Is that my Director. That director teaching. That director teaching. Wow. So we are done with the first one. But me, I like to do my HTML and CSS. Okay. I like to do my HTML and CSS together. So now let's create our external CSS. We have style.css. Alright. So the next one I have to connect it here. I can put a comment there. External CSS. Think error. And I will comment it out. Of my brackets link. Well, style sheet. You have to also notice this advance. Then href. Yes, because the name of my file is style.css. So style.css. So you can see right here. You know that there's an error. Maybe you didn't close it, so you have to close it. Okay. So let's check our browser. So we have this. So now let's style it. This first part. Are you here? So this is the first one, right? The one that is holding the head tag. I'll give it a class name and I'll call it header. Okay? So let's go to our CSS. I'll put it like this. And I'll pull my index here. Okay, so how do you style a class? Powers. Please put that phone down. Don't let me put the phone down. Then you start saying you have issues with it. You are not concentrating. You get it most when you are watching me like this. You are distracted, then you be saying, okay. How do you style a class? Bolu, how do you style a class? But I explained it. Before I started coding, I did some explanation. Huh? Hmm? No, this is external. We're not doing inline or internal. Yes, I've given the class name. I've given this HTML now. What do you say? And before you put the name, there's one thing you have to put first. What did I say it is for class? I don't know. It's not style. Style. We're not doing inline. Are we internal? This is external. And I said whenever you want to style a CSS selector for class, you have to put something first before the class name. And I also said that for ID too. That means you guys are not paying attention. Yes, full stop. I'm giving my container here header. I want to style the header here. I have to use full stop first. Then the header, then the name. This is how you style the class. If it's for ID, what are you going to use? For ID, use hashtag. I said it here when I was explaining. You guys are not paying attention. That's the issue. Okay. So if you want to style a class, I've given this my div, a class name called header. I want to style it. I'm going to use dot. Then the name of the class. Then I'll open my curly braces now. Okay. So this like this now. This is how you are going to do it. Dot. That's you're going to start with it because it's a class name. Then the class name itself. Then open your curly braces. Now you're ready to start. So the first thing is the background color because that's the container. So background color. Alright, so let's give it different color. Let's say purple. Okay. Why is it not working? Okay. So this is it. But you can see this space at the top here. It's because of my H1. You know, when we were inspecting the other time, you saw some, is it brown line around it? You see? Okay, let's inspect. I didn't give it any margin, but by default, all this stuff comes with its own margin. See this line around it? You can see margin there, 21.44 pixels, top and bottom. And for left and right, we have 0. So I'm going to remove it. And it's on H1. It's not the div tag, right? You can see it's H1 there that is holding that margin. Don't sleep. Alright. So I will go and start my H1. H1. Okay. Open my backend. My H1 is not having dot because it's not a class name. It's a tag on its own. You will get it's just a tag on its own. Just put H1. So let's remove the margin. So margin, I'll just do 0 pixels. That means no margin for any audio sites. Let's check it. So you can see it's gone. Alright. This space that is here is your body. The body tag also comes with its own margin and padding. So that's why I used to remove it. Before I even start, if you inspect it, you'll see that the body came with its own margin. So I'll click here and let's go to the body tag. See the body tag, see that margin around it. So you remove it. So before I start my code, I always put body, open curly braces, margin 0, then padding 0, P0. So it takes it out for me. So you can see now, no more space. Do you see it? The text is at the center. So we see on the header, right? The header is the container. So whatever is in the container is going to follow it. Okay. So let's use the text align. So if you want to move a text, use the text align. Text align center. You can see that the center. Okay. So the color of the H1 is what's white. So let's go back to our H1 and do color white. Okay. You can see. If you notice, there's a space at the bottom and at the top too. A little bit at the top, and there's a space more at the bottom. Bolu, are you here?
Yes.
So I'm going to give it padding. Padding is space inside. See my H1. You can give it on the header or you can give it on the H1, whichever one works for you. Okay. So you can give it at the, you can give it here. So padding. You want more at the bottom, right? So you can do the one that has the 4. The top might just take like 5 pixels. The right takes 0 pixels. The bottom, you want more at the bottom, you can take 20 pixels. Left, 0 pixels. So if you want to spread, let's see what we have. Alright, so let's do the HTML for the next one. Let's do this. Just create the box. So let's do the bottom one. So the bottom one has a paragraph, a p tag. Then inside it we have this copyright. So let's go and get the copyright. So HTML code for copyrights. So just get this only. Compare. Let's see here. Let's move this at the bottom. Let's make our work. Move this inside. So what is it saying? 2023 by your knee. So 2023 by your name. Dot all rights reserved. Yeah. So let's check it. Alright. So let's put this at the bottom. Let's restyle it the same way. So I'm going to give it a class name. Class. Let's call it footer. That's the name I'm giving it. Inside the for the down. So the class name dot footer. Right, what is it? I'm going to basis. So background color. Let's stick to purpose. Text align center. Let's see the padding for this one. This one has padding. The div has padding top. So padding top, turn it pictures, and let's do the same on 5. Let's check what we have. So right, then p tag. P. We have so many p tags. So the right way of doing this, which I can also do here too. So call. No, I did for the footer. So I'm going to specify now that just the header and the footer. So for this header now, I'll call my header and the H1. So it's only going to affect the H1 inside the header. So the same way for this, I'm going to call my footer, then P. It has given me everything. Alright, so footer and P, just show that the P tag inside this one is not going to affect other ones. So you have this. Okay? Because don't put anything inside, that's why they are together. Any question? No, it depends on you. You can start like arranging them. I'm just doing like this though, because it's similar, the same thing. Whichever one works for you though. Alright. Whichever one works for you. I don't want you to repeat the same thing at top and bottom. But normally I have to go accordingly. Okay. So let's move to the second one. Because the second one now is more like a little bit complex. So the second one has 3 divs because there are 3 boxes inside, 3 containers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so do my div for the first one. Div. You can see that I'm opening it, I'm closing it immediately. Okay, let's give this a class name because it's holding everything and has the background color. Class, let's call it main. Alright, then inside this one, the first one, that's a paragraph. Alright, just a paragraph inside this one. And what is the paragraph saying? Do we have time to read this? The apple pie recipe. Someone should read it for me.
The apple pie recipe
I'm
has
coming.
been in my family for generations and never failed to delight.
Has been what?
Generations. Has been in my
It's
family
it.
for generations. For generations and never failed to delight. Peace to the living God. This peace will not.
light, right? Yes. So the second one has what? So it has anything like a title first. Say H2. See, they don't have it. Hope it's the same thing. I can just press tab. Ingredients. Alright, and it has another this UL. Inside it you have the airline. What is the first one? Half spoon cup sugar. Okay. The next one. 2 teaspoons. Huh? Ground cinnamon. Ground. Let me check this right. Okay, ground cinnamon. Yeah. So. Yes. Hmm? 6 medium size apples. I didn't get that. This medium size. Okay. Let's move to the third. What is that? Is it the instruction? Yeah, I'll just press like that. Let's just use this one again. Okay, so let's see what we have. So we have this. It's even like easier. Okay, so let's give it a background color. Bolu, what are you doing? Eh? Can't see what I'm typing. Okay. So this div that is holding everything, holding my three boxes. Okay, it's called main. So I'm gonna put it inside here. Let's arrange it accordingly. So main, open my curly braces. Let's give it a color. Let's say background color. Let's do pink. Or this. Let's use pink. Alright. So you can see. And this other one, they're inside separate boxes. But let's give it a class name. This is the first one. The class. I'll call it box. I'm going to repeat it on the other ones. So copy and paste. And paste. Okay. So this one side. So we have box. I think on my dots. So by one color. Yeah. I want them to repeat on everything. So let's call this gray. Then make it a little bit white. So let's see. This is lighter pink. This is lighter pink. Pink. Let's put out pink like this. Okay. Let's see. The color show. So that's so bracket there. Alright, so let's look at it one after the other. This paragraph, why are you having this white space? Because same thing, there's margin there, which I didn't put. So this P and this other box too. This box, that's LIs. So I'm going to remove them. So let's start with the first one, the P. So the P is inside the box, right? The box parent container. Box P. So I'll do my margin. Let's do 0 first, but we'll still need it. So let's just do 0 pixels. Let's see. Let's start it up. And this other one is going square. Let's see what is costing the. So you can see the OL. That's a margin of 16 pixels. So let's remove the bottom one. Okay. So dot box OL margin. Don't remove the bottom one. So we'll leave the top one as T16. Right 0. Bottom one 0. And that's 0. Okay. We are good to go. So the container that is holding everything, you can see it has space. This space. So I'll go back to the container main. Okay. Then give this padding. Padding. Top and bottom, let's say 15 pixels. Right and left, let's say 35. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? No. So inside these boxes, you can see that they have padding. There's space inside. Space inside. And the edges are cropped. Alright, so let's go back to our boxes. Start with the padding. Let's say 20 pixels for all sides. Border radius. Border radius, let's say 10 pixels. So they are joined together. So let's give it margin so that it can be spaced outside. So go back to your boxes. Margin. Let's say 10 pixels for all sides. You want to color. Let's increase the margin. Let's say 15. Okay. Let's color this. Alright. So the box H was. We use H2 there. So color. Let's use white. Let's use purple. Voila. And we are done. Hmm? What is it? Who should I know in center? Isn't this? Are you in the center? You're not in the center now. If you want to put make MB at the center, you can increase the padding. There's another way you can use margin auto. Well, I can't teach people now. You need to get this one first. Not too much. Hmm? And because I screenshotted it is not smaller, I said I should spread the screen. You understand? Where I screenshotted it is small there. They didn't make it full screen. But this one is still the same way. At the center, no wala. But not at the center. It's just spacing. It's spacing. Yeah, it is. Any question? Do we have questions? So we're going to repeat this and submit it. Yes. Let's do it.
It's only one thing that I'm not going to change.
Shall submit it. Repeat what you do. What you sent. Because I don't score that one. So we're going to do this again and submit it. On Wednesday we'll start again from another place. So no question, right?